leadership and unwavering commitment to democratic values. Having held key portfolios in the Government of India, he has consistently demonstrated administrative excellence and a consultative approach to governance. As the Honorable Union Minister for Parliamentary Affairs and Minority Affairs, he plays a vital role in strengthening parliamentary democracy and advancing inclusive national development. His vision of dialogue, unity, and sustainable progress strongly resonates with India's evolving business and policy landscape. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our honor to welcome Honorable Union Minister Sri Kiran Rijiju to the 24 Business Conclave 2nd edition.
That is all about Mr. Kiran Rijiju, and I'm handing over the mic to him for his inaugural address.
Good morning, Mr. Sri Kandan Nair, who is the Chief Editor of the 24 News Channel and the Chief Architect of today's Business Conclave of the 24 News Channel. And there are many dignitaries here. Sean George, Vice President of BJP Kerala, Anup Antony, General Secretary of the BJP Kerala, and all the team members of the 24 News. And I could see many young faces, young entrepreneurs, students. Well, I'm excited also and grateful that I'm invited here in this beautiful Ernakulam, Kochi area in Kerala. And the chief editor, Mr. Nair himself had told that I have a great fascination for Kerala. Those who live in Kerala may not understand how lucky they are, how lucky you are. And I can very well tell that I'm very envious of the people of Kerala. You have beautiful coastal line spread over long expanse north to south. You got beautiful hill stations, all those beautiful tea plantations, and the ocean, the Arabian Sea which you see, has a huge potential in terms of resources. When we talk about India's growth, we cannot complete our growth without harnessing in a sustainable manner the resources from the ocean. And also, the greatest capital of Kerala is the human resources. So, it's for anybody to be excited to be in Kerala. So I am equally excited to be here today. Well, I told Mr. Nair that I will not speak a very lengthy speech, but make my few precise remarks. I got lots of drafted points, lots of subjects which I would supposed to be addressing. But I normally I prefer to make quick remarks and then if possible during the interaction comment certain things beyond my remarks. You know, strategically Kerala is very well located. That is why Kerala has a long history of import, export, trade relation with the foreign countries. Not many states are that fortunate. So in that sense, Kerala is placed in a very advantageous location geographically. If you remember, there was one Bollywood movie. I had seen it, although I don't see much movies. I don't get time. But there was a movie called Once Upon a Time in Bombay. So the boss of that group, he distributes his people with certain police stations. He earmarks police station wise to his main associates. Then one of the associates asked him, "Boss, you have distributed all the police station to everyone. There's nothing left for you." He said, "Yes, I don't need anything because I control the ocean." So those who control the ocean actually controls the world. So Kerala has such a vast coastline, which makes Kerala in a very advantageous position. And if you see the character of the people of Kerala, very laborious, hardworking, very knowledgeable, very eager to learn, and proactive in everything, and ready to explore. In my home state, because I come from Himalayas, the mountainous state of Arunachal Pradesh, I remember when I was young, all those senior officers, ministers, they always look for a person from Kerala to be his guide, his private secretary or advisor. Invariably, everybody will be looking for a person from Kerala. Then I used to ask them, why? There can be many people who can serve. They said, no. There are two things they look for the people from Kerala is, number one, efficiency. Number two, trustworthy. A Keraloid, a person from Kerala, will be impeccable in their service, loyalty, efficiency, and output. So everybody wants to have a very efficient office. Although right now I don't have a person from Kerala in my office, but those days everybody used to look for person from Kerala. And beyond that, in the service industries, you talk about medical education, in every sector, people from Kerala excel. So that tells the story. But slowly what I have realized, there are certain things which needs to be broken. I want to very honestly express this because it's better to express it rather than thinking through my own minds. Kerala can do much better because the economy of the Kerala is mainly dependent on service industry and the remittances which you receive. There are large numbers of diaspora from Kerala based in Middle East and in some major developed countries. I have met many people from Kerala during my trip abroad. Recently, I had been to Saudi Arab because I am looking after the Ministry of Minority Affairs. Lots of people from Kerala are there in different sectors. They have a huge contributions in the economy of Kerala and our nation. But I was thinking, beyond these remittances and service industry, Kerala has such huge potential. Beyond human resources, within Kerala, many more things can be done. The biggest lacking what immediately come into my mind is Kerala is not receiving even a fraction of investment which Kerala deserves. The potential which Kerala has, it can draw multiple times more foreign direct investment or from various other sources. which is lacking. Now, I don't want to talk about political things, but after all, we are a democracy. In a democratic setup, the political leadership plays the critical role in driving the society. So, whether it is the left Democratic Front government in Kerala has run for a long time or the Congress-led UDF, they must have done many things, they must have made the attempt, nobody can deny. But the fact is, Kerala is destined to be much more prosperous than what it is. Because the attributes which I had mentioned makes Kerala a perfect destination for investment. Because the human resources is ready-made. You don't need to struggle. And there are few bottlenecks which can be easily overcome. Now, Kerala is a very unique state. It's not a large state, but it's a fairly a middle-sized state which mainly runs from north to south. And it's a heavily populated. In a way, every region is connected by habitations. The human settlement is almost completely spread across except those Anamudi, Nilgiri side towards the eastern side. So the middle and the western sections of the state is completely settled. So looking at the demographic situation here and the inhabitations, how it is distributed, the plan and the development process has to be according to the situation as it prevails. So you need to have a very concrete policy, whether you have an industrial policy or labor policy, investment policy. And in the new age, in this new era, the government must work as a catalyst to ensure that all those potential youth must get to work in the sector, in the field where they choose to. So there are some kind of dislocation in terms of the policy which you have in place so far and the actual requirement on the ground that needs to be bridged. And secondly, the benefits which the Kerala state should have received from the center, I think to some extent it has received, but it could have been better. Because in last 11 years, the kind of policy adopted by Narendra Modi government at the center, many pockets of our states and different regions in the country have taken benefits. Since Kerala is a highly literate society, Kerala is a compact society with a very advanced human capital, Kerala would have taken much more advantage than other states and union territories. That I think we need to give a look into that. Because for the first time, the entire global community has made a statement that Narendra Modi government has given biggest push to all the necessary reforms in different sectors, as well as made India an investment-friendly destination. Today, if you see, any corporate sector, anyone you ask, their preferences is always India. Couple of decades back, India was not the preferred destination. China was the old story. And before that is the Southeast Asian countries, and before that, the Asian tigers. After Japan, the South Korea, Industrial Revolution, the Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, they all started in 60s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Then came the ASEAN miracle, the Southeast Asian, 10 ASEAN states, mainly those like Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand. So then the Chinese growth story took over in late 90s and 2000 and 2010. Then our time came. The Narendra Modi era started in India. So India became a preferred destination. So while India has become a preferred destination, Kerala was already sitting in a much advantageous position. But one thing you must realize that Kerala has progressed despite the government, not because of the government. The governments could have done much better. That means the people here are quite industrious. Their entrepreneurial skills are world class. Kerala people are ready to grab any available opportunities. So that is why I said the kind of achievement and drive which we have done in last 11 years with the vision of Prime Minister for the Viksit Bharat, Kerala has not taken the advantage it should have. Now, every state, every nation must have a destination target. You must have a vision. Kerala must have created various visions, but beyond vision, you must have a target. When we go, when we move, we definitely have a destination where we would be reaching. So at the time of independence in 1947, India did not set a target. If you remember, we just had 5-year plan. So the 5-year plan is basically allocation of resources, identification of certain areas, make certain policies, and then you distribute resources accordingly, and after 5 years, you come out with another 5-year plan. So the Planning Commission and the Finance Commission, which we intermittently having since 1947, did not really have the long-term vision. So that is why many people have asked me that India has so much of potential, yet why India could not become a developed nation? If you see the intelligence level of average Indians, we are, if not more, we are as intelligent as any developed country's population has. If you put one intelligent Indian in front of one intelligent German, I'm sure it will be at par. And in terms of debate and discussion, maybe the Indian will win. We Indians are quite intelligent and God-gifted. But the thing is, the fact remains that India is not a developed nation yet. Why? I'm sure as an Indian, everybody must have thought about it. I have traveled to so many countries. In fact, I am the most traveled Indian. Before I became minister, I had traveled to 155 countries. And it's not easy, I'm telling you. So I have started traveling at a very young age. Now, as a minister, I can't travel to any country just like that. I can travel only for bilateral relation, multilateral conferences, or very important occasion where India is to be represented. So I could travel only to limited countries, and I travel to only those countries where I have already been to many times. So I'm not adding new countries. But as a person who has traveled so much, it used to keep reminding, the question keep coming, why India is not a developed nation yet? If Singapore has become a developed nation in the span of 15 years, and if South Korea became a developed nation within a span of 30 years, you all will be well aware of Venugopalji. My friend, please come, join here. Venugopalji is a senior leader from Kerala, but I have reached here before him. He is the host. He is the host, but I have reached the venue before him. So, why and what is the reason that India could not become a developed nation yet. The Western countries, the colonial powers, they have a reason to become developed because they used to control the world. But those countries which attain the status of developed countries, you can count. There are multiple countries which became developed nations. Within the peripheral location, the biggest example I gave you, Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan. These are now amongst the highest per capita income nations in the world. So what is the difference between them and us? If South Korea has become a developed nation, there must be something which their governments must have done. There must be something in the population which made the country developed. So if you try to calculate and understand how a country attains a status of developed nation, or in another word, you can say a country which has become prosperous, there are reasons to become. There are reasons for that achievement. So, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi took over as the Prime Minister, I was minister with him from the day one. So I know every step that he has taken. Then he told all of us that let us have a vision, but along with vision, we must have a target. If we don't set a target, then we will not reach the target. So he created that Viksit Bharat vision. 1947, we have started our journey, and 2047, India would be completing 100 years of its journey as an independent nation. So when we have completed now 28 years, so we have around 22 years remaining. Now the question is, in the remaining 22 years, can India become a developed nation? This is the hard question. Now, we have not become developed nation because our per capita income right now is around $2,800 per annum, which is bare minimum, very low. Although our total GDP is $4.2 trillion, which is fourth largest in the world today, but that is because of we have a large population. Per capita, we are amongst the lowest. And because of the huge population, the top 5% or 10% who are wealthy enough, their population is more than average countries in the world. So, we will be totally satisfied and proud when India's average income will cross at least the high upper income group. As per the World Bank standard, you must have $12,500 to have the upper income category. Now we are today at $2,800 per annum, per capita. So 2,800 per capita per annum is still very low, but our growth rate gives us a hope. Today, India is growing above 7%. When I was young in a college and in a school, I remember our growth rate was around 3%, sometimes 4%. And around 2002-03, we started rising the income growth rate. Our GDP touched 8%. And then the slowdown started. The entire globe slowed down. And today, the average per capita rise, the growth rate, is around 2% globally. And China, since last 5-6 years, has been below India's GDP growth rate. So we are fortunate today, amongst the large economies, especially the G20, India is the fastest growing economy. We have to ensure that this GDP growth is to be equitably distributed so that the growth brings benefits to the larger society. so that we can have a very equitable growth. So my very simple thinking, I am not an economist. So my view is common man's view. My view is typically a politician's view, like K.C. Venugopal. We are all politicians, so we have to talk common man's language. So my take is, when we are growing at 7% plus GDP growth, we need to ensure that every region of the country takes the benefit out of that. And there I could see Kerala has the greatest potential to take advantage of that. Because Kerala people are a great diaspora spread around the world. And especially in the Middle East, I feel the domination of Kerala is quite substantial. Now, the geographical size of Kerala, the population dividend which you have, young population, and ready to accept the incoming inflows of capital, the investment, and very fertile ground for growth of all startups ecosystem in the state. I think with the right policy, right setup, Kerala can take maximum benefit out of the global situation which we are witnessing today. So as I said, I'm not going to make a lengthy speech and very technical kind of a viewpoint. I thought this initial remark is good enough. If the chief editor and the other friends, young friends, require certain clarification or certain information, I am ready to share with you, but it's better to keep the things very precise, short. So, God's own country invited me. I am very happy to be invited here. I love Kerala food. I love Kerala people. Such a beautiful state. My state is mountainous. This is a coastal, but very similar. Very green, energetic people. We love music, food, and we love to have fun. So whenever and wherever in the Kerala, I am always happy to be, and also feel proud that Kerala has always made India proud. Thank you very much.